Hello, welcome to Feelings this week. Moon,
Hi,
how are
Max.
you doing?
Excellent.
Excellent.
What we
So,
got today?
yeah, what we got? We got nothing dries faster than tears. But
Mm.
before we get into this, I just play a few seconds video. So here we go. So let's look at the quick video. Nothing dry faster than tears. That's it. So very today, I wanted to switch the focus on others, how we see feelings in other people. And I came across this sentence. I was reading a trilogy of Cicero. It's a bit of a historic thing, and it's a bit a cynical sentence, but actually brought me to a reflection that sometimes you just look at people. They know they are feeling something strong, but you don't know precisely what that is. So how do you know? What would be your guess, Moon, by looking at the person that we saw in the video, and what would you do if you come across and someone that you know, or someone close to you?
I feel like I'm in one of those social experiments. Like, look at this picture. What is this person feeling? Happy? Sad? Um, yeah, you're so right. It does trigger this cynical part of us. It's like, is she crying because she's really sad? Or
Yeah.
is she acting? What is there? And that really, what you just said really provoked me to think, how much time do we actually process how other people's feeling? We might jump into a conclusion and judge and
You
say,
might
you
jump.
should,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you should feel this way. You shouldn't feel that way.
Or even worse, we say, I know what you're feeling. And you take over completely the all the comfort the conversation, or
So
you just
that's, yeah,
overlay your narrative. That is, I think, the most
yeah.
possible things you can possibly do. So
And
why
imagine
we
if we
don't?
were on the receiving end when people say, oh, I know how you
Yeah,
feel. And you're like, no, you don't. So
no, no, you
that's
do
the
not.
that's the immediate reaction. So nothing drives faster than tea. I think for me is actually it really makes me feel sad. There's an element of truth in this. We try to get over things so quickly, especially when it comes to heartbreaks. We want to see if it's related to another person, we want to see our friends feel better almost immediately. It's like, it's okay, you'll be fine. Just get over it. That kind of things. Another thing that comes back to me is, are we being sympathetic or empathetic? Because there is a difference, and I'm sure you're familiar with
Yeah.
Brene Brown's work. So, good questions. How am I processing? How do I know? Well, the truth is, I can only guess, but I have the power to ask and to check in.
Boom. That is
Drop the mic.
yeah. Don't scratch your head. Don't get clever. Don't get Sherlock. Ask. I think it's so simple, but if you see someone, there might be some joy, there could be frustration, anger, resentment. I mean, there's so many things that can happen behind the tear. So ask. But then I think also this sentence is pointing to the fact that we have all these changes in terms of mood and feelings. That there's one after the other. Sometimes we are rushing, as you said, but sometimes there's an emotional cycle in there as well. So they will come and go, and we don't need necessarily to process for others, but just be there. Just be there
Yeah,
and
we don't need
watch
to
that
process for others.
cycle. No, maybe,
Absolutely.
maybe, maybe we don't.
And I want to just recap what we said for the past several days when we talk about feelings, when we talk about reacting and processing, and this like space and times for all of those things. And coming back to my own experience as I suppressing angers and all that. What I found is when I become really, really angry and, I'm like at the verge of crying, what comes afterwards is just profound sadness. It's like this, it's almost like a form of grievances. When we get really worked up on something, it always comes from a sense of loss and a sense of grief. So I guess my question for people who's watching today or rewatching is, how are you handling your tears and your feelings? Do you allow yourself to cry?
Yeah. And for me, I would just add specifically for men, they say, when do you give a permission to yourself to cry and have a tear? It's a big thing for boys. So think, when do you give permission yourself to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Is a particularly intimate and very important moment. Mm-hmm. So great reflections on the back of a cynical
I love it.
quote
about such a powerful sentence.
So many things. So thank you, Moon, and
thank you for sharing.
see you tomorrow. Bye. Wonderful. Bye.